Hey guys, the Tarte's blush palettes are so popular guys during the holiday season, so much so that they come out with like multiple blush palettes, not just one. They have blush palettes in like a circular blush palette, they have like rectangular blush palette, and they have like a set where they have mini blushes. So I bought the circular blush palette. This is called the Blush Bazaar, and this is the box that it came in. I think this circular blush palette was introduced for the first time last year. Yeah, last year was the first time they had come out with a circular pan with 10 blushes, and this, as you can see here, it retails for $44. This is called the Blush Bazaar. Last year they did this coral themed palette. All of the shades were so coral toned. They all just looked exactly the same. Not all, most of them. Some looked ashy, some just didn't even show up on my skin, and the ones that did show up, all of them looked exactly the same. So I returned it. I ended up returning it. I skipped it. So this time I saw the pictures and they was more rich in color, so I thought I'd give it a second try. So this is an exclusive palette to Sephora, and this obviously is for the holidays, so this is limited edition, and this, as I said, retails for $44, and they say that the value is $150 retail value. This palette is made in China. So yeah, and Tarte is cruelty-free brand. So yeah, that is a pattern that it comes in, circular kind of pattern, and the same pattern also in the compact. And you just open it up here, and then it doesn't come with a mirror, but it is very reflective, so I don't want to blind you guys. It comes with a perforated plastic divider. Oh wait, it's not perforated, I'm sorry. It just comes with a plastic divider so that the product doesn't like transfer into the other pans and like compromise the products in the other pans. So I think that's a good thing. So it doesn't come with a mirror. So there are 10 pans. Oops, I'm so sorry guys. There are 10 pans, as you can see, and out of these 10 pans, 8 of them are blushes and the other 2 are highlighters. So you get 8 pans of blushes and 2 pans of highlighters, and all of the pan sizes are exactly the same. So let me just check. So all of the pan sizes contain 2.4 grams of product. So you get 8 times 2.4 grams for blushes and 2 times 2.4 grams for highlighter. So let's get swatching. As you can see, the tones are, at least on this side, slightly have this reddish tone. Reddish, more like, you know what, these are not reddish toned. These are like a deeper, more coral toned kind of shades this side. On this side you have definitely the lighter toned blushes. So let's get swatching. First let's start with the deeper side. This is Worthy. Worthy is this very pale pink highlighter, which is like very subtle sheen guys. It's just very subtle, and as you can see, it's very icy, and it does leave like a white cast on your skin. It, first of all, it doesn't show up on my skin, so if you want to build it up, you end up getting a white cast. So that's not the kind of highlighter I like. And then this is Extraordinary. Extraordinary is like a golden peach shade. So that is Extraordinary. Extraordinary doesn't show up right away, but when I build up, you get a subtle peach sheen. Definitely you can see the peach sheen. Since it is duochrome, in the area where the light hits your skin, it kind of looks golden, but in the area where there is no light, you can definitely see like a slight coral tone to it. So definitely it is a subtle blush. Even if you build it up a lot, the coral tone is like kind of muted. And then that is Extraordinary, and this is Dainty, which is like a coral shade again. Do you see it? It's a very toned down kind of a shade. It's not a shade that actually showed up on me. I had to build it up a lot just to make it like appear a tiny bit of color, just to get that tiny bit of color on my cheeks. These 2 blushes actually worked. Oops, so very sorry guys. These 2 blushes actually worked well, but you can, as you can see, they look so similar, and they look as not just in the video, but also on the cheeks, they look so similar. uh, this is the shade that I have on right now, and then this is the other oh sorry, that's, I didn't even have product in that. As you can see, these two shades are so similar, right? So yeah, that is one side. This shade is all right. You have to build it up a lot, the peachy pink, but it, once you build it up, you can definitely see that peach, very muted peach shade. It is a duochrome, gold to peach shift, and this is very subtle, guys. It doesn't even show up a lot. I have to struggle to build that up, but it's not ashy. This shade is not that ashy, but you know, I did have to build up. These two shades are really good, but they look just exactly the same. And let's move on to the lighter side. This is again, you know what, let's start with the highlighter, which is called Whimsical. Whimsical has a lot of chunky glitter actually. Well, not chunky glitter, but there is definitely, this has a sheen, but this definitely has more of a, it definitely has shimmers in it. This looks like it doesn't have even shimmers in it. That's how very finely milled this is. And this is a gold highlighter, and this is like a very pale peach, frosty pink highlighter. Now, this looks good in the swatch, but with a brush, it's not, it's a very subtle highlighter, to be honest. Both are subtle highlighters. And then you have, oh, you know what, let me hold it like this. You have like a fuchsia, this is described as a fuchsia shade. Doesn't look exactly like a fuchsia shade on my skin tone. Again, this side is like the lighter side, so a lot of shades appeared very ashy on me. This didn't look ashy on me, but again, I had to build it up a lot. And then this shade is like a mauve shade, but it's not very deep, not as deep as these two shades, right? So I had to build this up as well to get it to show up on my skin, and as you can see, it's just not doing very well. And then this shade just looked, hang on, let me just show. This shade looks straight up ashy. This is like a true tangerine color. I think it's called Fortunate. True tangerine color just looked ashy on me, guys. It just didn't look good. I'm sorry I was not able to like point to the shades like in the pan, but it is so reflective. And then you have like a very neutral shade. This just did not show up on my skin at all, even to determine if it is ashy looking or not. Obviously, I don't think it's ashy looking because I just couldn't see it at all on my skin tone. It just blended with my skin. So that is the light side, and this is the darker side. As you can see, they are all same, so similar on my skin tone. The ones that show up look so similar on my skin tone, and the ones that are very pale, they look ashy. On my skin tone, I found two shades to be ashy altogether, but the others I could like, you know, just build up over and over again and make it appear on my skin. But the two shades that looked very ashy were this shade and this shade. These were really bad. I think Skillful and Fortunate were the very ashy shades on my skin tone. The others, Exhilarating and this looked, I had to build it up a little bit. So the problem side was the lighter side. The darker side, all of them did show up on my skin tone, but the darker side is this. The darker side did show up on my skin tone, but they all kind of look similar. So personally for me, again, I'm not very happy with the blush palette. I think MAC should do us all a favor and come out with a blush palette, guys. MAC does like seriously amazing blushes, but I'm just not I don't recommend this palette if especially if you have dark skin. Just handpick the blushes that you like from your favorite brand and just that's it. So instead of just spending $44 on a blush palette where like you get 8 blushes and out of the 8, 2 are ashy on dark skin and the other 6 look so similar on dark skin. So I kind of don't see a point for having a palette for that. Just if you love this kind of a tone of blushes, just pick a mauve toned blush or pick a coral toned blush and you'd be happy, I think. But you know what, just do as you please. Go out to Sephora, swatch and check, see how it feels on your skin, and yeah, I think then you'll be able to make a decision. But as for me, this is a no. This palette is going back again to Sephora. So yeah, you guys, that's my review and my thoughts on this particular palette. Hope you guys, I think it's just a matter of personal preference. If you have medium to light skin tone, I think all of the shades will show up on your skin tone, maybe even different, but I doubt it. There's like a mandarin shade which might be which would distinctly different. Then there's like a very terracotta kind of shade, which like the shade that I said that like blended away just did not show up at all, even after like 5 layers of blushes. That might look different, but all the other shades kind of look very similar. Maybe this mauve shade on the darker side, maybe that might look different, these 2 darker shades, but even on feel medium and light skin tone, a lot of shades might still look same. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.